Argentina won the World Cup. I repeat, Argentina won the World Cup.
Argentina, champions of the world, and a nation will tango all night long.
Right now, it happened. I knew immediately I had to go back and tell you the real story. After 36 years, the team saw the face of the golden trophy. Where exactly does it all begin? The story of how it happened. But how far back do I have to go? When did the story begin? In this documentary, we embark on a thrilling journey through time to uncover the story behind Argentina's football legacy. Football was introduced to Argentina by British immigrants in the late 19th century, with railroad workers arriving in the Rio de la Plata basin in the 1860s. Two English immigrants, Thomas and James Hogg, founded the Buenos Aires Football Club on 9th of May 1867 and received permission to use their ground from the Buenos Aires Cricket Club. Later that year, on the 20th of June, two 8-member teams of British merchants, the Whitecaps and the Redcaps, played the first recorded football game in Argentina, receiving coverage from the Standard newspaper. However, the club disbanded after 6 years and did not play football until the 1880s, when it started to gain some traction due to a Scottish schoolteacher named Alexander Watson Hutton. Considered by many to be the father of Argentine football, Hutton initially arrived in Argentina to teach at St. Andrew's Scots School and then founded the Buenos Aires English High School. In 1893, the Argentine Association Football League was formed with Hutton at its center. Many former students of his Buenos Aires English High School formed the alumni football team, which won 22 titles and provided many players to the national team. The club disbanded in 1913 due to internal strife. The Argentina national football team played its first game in 1901 against Uruguay in Paso del Molino. However, some historians dismiss the game as it was organized by Uruguayan team Albion FC rather than an official football association. The following year, Argentina played an official game against Uruguay in Montevideo, where they won 6-0. After that game, Argentina participated in several friendlies, including the Copa America's unofficial predecessor, the Copa Centenario Revolución de Mayo, where their top scorer, Enrique Hayes, took the team to first place after defeating Uruguay and Chile. Argentina hosted the first official Copa America tournament in 1916, where they finished second to their neighbor Uruguay. After 3 more failed attempts, Argentina won its first Copa America in 1921, led by its top scorer Giulio Libonati. They won the Copa America again in 1925 under the captaincy of all-time goal-scoring machine Manuel Seoane, and then again in 1927 and 1929. Argentina refused to send a team to the 1924 Olympics in Paris, where Uruguay won gold. However, Argentina won 2-1 in a post-Olympic friendly in 1924 thanks to Cesario Onzari's direct corner kick goal. Since that goal enabled Argentina's victory over the Olympic gold medalists, it was dubbed Gol Olímpico. Ironically, in the 1928 Olympics, Argentina participated and lost the gold to Uruguay after losing 2-1 in the second leg of the final. The game was fiercely contested, with both teams displaying skillful and attacking football. Argentina forward Domingo Tarasconi opened the scoring, but Uruguay responded quickly with goals by Pedro Chea and Hector Scarone. Argentina participated in the first World Cup in 1930 in Uruguay. La Albiceleste, led by Guillermo Stabile, Posel, and Luis Monti, easily reached the final after beating France, Chile, Mexico, and the USA, before losing again to Uruguay with a score of 4-2. Uruguayan striker Hector Scarone became the hero with 2 late goals, confirming Uruguay's place in football history as the first World Cup champions. Italian sports journalist Gianni Brera later wrote that Argentina played football with a lot of imagination and elegance, but technical excellence cannot compensate for a lack of strategy. Of the 2 Rio Platan national groups, the Ants are the Uruguayans, The cicadas are the Argentinians. However, Argentina began a period of isolation in football in 1934 when the association decided not to send a team to the World Cup, in part because their bid to host the 1938 World Cup was rejected. Ironically, Italy won the World Cup in 1934 with 4 Argentines in their squad. Coached by Guillermo Stabile, Argentina continued to enjoy success, winning the Copa América titles in 1937 and 1941, followed by a three-peat from 1945 to 1947, led by the Copa América's all-time goal scorer, Norberto Mendes. The 1947 title was Alfredo Di Stefano's first and only title with the Albiceleste before moving to Real Madrid and eventually gaining Spanish nationality. Argentina also win the title in 1955 and again in 1957, led by goal scorer Humberto Maschio. However, Argentina did not participate in any international tournament outside South America until 1958, when they sent a team to Sweden for the 1958 FIFA World Cup. They lost 3-1 to Germany, then won 3-1 against Northern Ireland, but failed to advance to the next stage after losing 6-1 to Czechoslovakia. Despite the setback, Argentina temporarily recovered from the World Cup by winning the Copa América in 1959 after a tough competition with Pelé's Brazil. Even after winning the 1962 World Cup, Argentina lost 1-0 to Bulgaria in the first game, 3-1 to Bobby Charlton's England, and then a goalless draw against Hungary resulted in another early elimination. In the 1966 World Cup, again led by Juan Lorenzo, Argentina made a promising start. Luis Artem's brace helped Spain beat Spain 2-0, followed by a goalless draw with West Germany. Argentina then qualified by defeating Switzerland 2-0 but lost to hosts England in the quarterfinals. Despite losing their first game against Poland, Argentina was back at the 1974 World Cup in Germany. A draw with Italy and a 4-1 win over Haiti was enough to advance to the next round, but Argentina was eliminated after losing to Brazil and the Netherlands in the second group stage. At this time, the association decided it was time for a change, and they offered the former Boca Juniors player Cesar Luis Menotti the role of manager, which he accepted on several terms, including that domestic players under the age of 25 should not be sold to foreign clubs. Menotti began preparing the team for the 1978 World Cup, which would be hosted at home through friendly and tournament play. In one of those friendly games in 1977, a young player named Diego Maradona made his debut with the Albiceleste at the age of 16. In 1978, Argentina had a stacked team led by Daniel Passarella in defense, serial goal scorers Mario Kempes and Leopoldo Luque in offense, and several talented midfielders, including Bertoni and Tottenham's Osvaldo Ardiles. Menotti did not include Maradona in the squad due to his lack of experience. However, some sources point out that the military junta ruling Argentina pushed for the inclusion of River Plate midfielder Norberto Alonso. In the first game, Argentina won their first 2 games against Hungary and France by 2-1, and despite losing to Italy, they qualified for the next stage. In the next round, Argentina win 2-0 against Poland, then had a goalless draw versus Brazil and beat Peru 6-0 to reach the final. A game overshadowed by rumors of financial incentives to the Peruvian team by the Argentine dictatorship. In the final against a Cruyff-less Netherlands side, Argentina started well after Kempes scored in the 38th minute. The Dutch managed to balance the game and eventually equalized in the 82nd minute with a goal by Naninga. Before extra time, Menotti told his players to win for the butchers and teachers of Argentina, not the generals in the presidential palace. Argentina win their first World Cup with 2 goals from Kempes and Bertoni in extra time. Apart from the 1978 World Cup, Argentina did not enjoy any success in the Copa América in the 70s. However, Menotti and Maradona coached youth teams, led by Ramon Diaz, to win the 1979 Youth World Championship, brightening Albiceleste's future. At the 1982 World Cup, Argentina was tipped as heavy favorites to win the tournament. Key players from the 1978 team, such as Kempes, Passarella, and Tarantini, were still in their prime. And now they had talented young players like Maradona. Argentina lost the first match 1-0 against Belgium, but won the next game 4-1 thanks to Maradona's magical performance. Then secured their place after beating El Salvador 2-0 in the round. However, in the next round of the 1982 World Cup, tight and often rough, defending from Italy proved challenging for Maradona and his team. After a 2-1 win against Brazil, Argentina could not handle the pressure and were eliminated in a 3-1 loss from the tournament. After 9 years coaching the team, Luis Menotti was succeeded by Carlos Bilardo, who had won the league title with Estudiantes in 1982. Bilardo's early days were far from ideal, with the team without Maradona struggling despite qualifying for the group stages of the 1983 Copa América. Leading up to the 1986 World Cup, Bilardo was often criticized by the media and fans for being too defensive and pragmatic, employing an innovative but unconventional 3-5-2 system. Regardless of the criticism, Argentina got off to a strong start in the 1986 World Cup by beating South Korea 3-1 with 2 goals from Valdano. A 1-1 draw with Italy and a 2-0 win against Bulgaria saw them qualify for the next round. In the round of 16, Argentina advanced to the quarter-finals after beating their old rivals Uruguay 1-0. They faced England in one of the most legendary games in World Cup history, where Maradona scored 2 famous goals, the controversial Hand of God and the goal of the century, in which he dribbled past half of the English team. Another magical display from Maradona came in the semi-final against Belgium, where he scored 2 great goals, earning Argentina a ticket to the final. The final took place on the 29th of June in Mexico City. Goals from Luis Brown in the 23rd minute and Jorge Valdano in the 55th minute made it look like Argentina would secure an easy win. However, West Germany fought back and managed to level the game with goals from Rummenigge in the 74th minute and Rudi Völler in the 80th minute. A goal from Burruchaga in the 83rd minute gave Argentina their second World Cup. Argentina hosted the Copa América in 1987, debuting with a 1-1 draw against Peru, followed by a 3-0 victory over Ecuador with goals from Caniggia and 2 from Maradona. In the second round, Argentina lost 1-0 to eventual champions Uruguay and were eliminated. In the 1989 Copa América, Argentina defeated Chile to qualify for the second round with 1-0 wins over Uruguay and 2 draws with Ecuador and Bolivia, both 0-0. However, they lost in the second round to Romario's Brazil and Uruguay, both 2-0, and a draw with Paraguay 0-0, with Maradona scoreless throughout the tournament. Argentina started the 1990 World Cup in Italy with a surprising 1-0 loss to Cameroon, but defeated the Soviet Union 2-0 and drew 1-1 against Romania to advance to the next round. Argentina managed to withstand pressure against arch-rivals Brazil in the round of 16, with Maradona providing the perfect assist to Caniggia for the winning goal. In the next round, Argentina eliminated Yugoslavia on penalty kicks after goalkeeper Goicoechea saved 3 penalty kicks. In the semi-final against hosts Italy, Schillaci opened the scoring for the hosts in the 17th minute, but Caniggia equalized for Argentina in the 67th minute, resulting in a 1-1 score after 90 minutes. With no goals in extra time, the game went to a penalty shootout where Goicoechea saved 2 more shots, helping Argentina reach the final. In the final, Argentina faced West Germany, but several key players, including Maradona, were in poor condition, and their top scorer, Caniggia, was suspended due to an offensive foul in the previous round. West Germany were the better team for most of the game and scored a controversial penalty in the 83rd minute to win the match. After the tournament, Bilardo resigned and was replaced by Alfio Basile, while Maradona announced his retirement from the national team. A new generation of players, including Gabriel Batistuta and Diego Simeone, led Argentina to win trophies in the 1991 and 1993 Copa América tournaments. However, during the 1994 World Cup qualifiers, The team had a poor performance, including a massive 5-0 loss to Valderrama's Colombia. Basile persuaded Maradona to return to the team for the 2 playoff matches against Australia, which Argentina win, qualifying for the World Cup. In their first 2 games, Argentina defeated Greece 4-0 and Nigeria 2-1, with players like Redondo, Caniggia and Batistuta, along with an aging Maradona, performing brilliantly. Argentina were identified as favorites to win the tournament. However, Maradona was banned from the tournament after testing positive for a banned substance. The news affected the team's morale, resulting in a 2-0 loss to Stoichkov's Bulgaria in their last group game and a 3-2 defeat to Romania in the last 16. Daniel Passarella took over as manager, with top stars like Batistuta, Zanetti and Simeone leading Argentina's hopes for the 1998 World Cup in France. In the group stage, the Albiceleste qualified for the next round after defeating Japan, Jamaica and Croatia. In the round of 16, Argentina faced England. Batistuta opened the scoring, but England quickly responded with a penalty, equalizing in the 6th minute. A memorable solo goal from Michael Owen gave England the lead in the 16th minute, but Zanetti equalized in the 45th minute. The score remained unchanged until the end of extra time, and Argentina eventually win 4-3 on penalties. In the quarterfinals, both sides scored early, with Kluivert netting just 12 minutes in and Claudio Lopez equalizing 5 minutes later. In the 87th minute, Argentina lost Ortega due to a red card, and Dennis Bergkamp scored to knock Argentina out of the tournament. Argentina could not make an impact in the Copa América, being eliminated in the quarterfinals of the 1995, 1997 and 1999 competitions. The 2002 World Cup was a disaster for Argentina. Despite winning the first game against Nigeria, they were eliminated after losing to England and drawing with Sweden. However, Argentina continued to produce great talent and promising players like Saviola and Tevez, who led Argentina to a gold medal and a second-place finish at the 2004 Copa América. The following year, the 18-year-old Lionel Messi dominated to win the 2005 FIFA World Youth Championship, earning Argentina another trophy. A stream of attacking talent that included Riquelme, Crespo, Messi, Tevez and Maxi Rodriguez raised high expectations for Argentina in the 2006 World Cup in Germany. The team easily qualified from the group stage with a 2-1 win against Ivory Coast, a dominant 6-0 victory over Serbia and Montenegro, and a 0-0 draw against the Netherlands. In the round of 16, they won 2-1 in extra time against Mexico, with Maxi Rodriguez scoring a fantastic goal in the 98th minute.
What a strike!
However, after a 1-1 draw against Germany in the quarterfinals, Argentina lost 4-2 on penalties. Argentina were favorites to win the Copa América in 2007, but lost 3-0 in the final to their arch-rivals Brazil. Despite Maradona being appointed head coach for the 2010 World Cup, the team dominated its group by defeating Nigeria, South Korea and Greece. In the next round, Argentina easily defeated Mexico thanks to goals from Tevez and Higuain. However, in the quarterfinals, Germany was a much tougher opponent, and the Germans dominated the game with a 4-0 win. Another disappointment followed in the 2011 Copa América with a quarter-final exit by Uruguay. With Argentina's key players entering their prime years, the Albiceleste were among the favorites to win the 2014 World Cup. Messi led the team to 3 victories in the group stage. In the round of 16, they struggled against Switzerland but eventually won the game with a Di Maria goal in extra time. Then, an early goal by Higuain beat Belgium. The semi-final against the Netherlands ended in a goalless draw and was decided by a penalty shootout, which Argentina won 4-2. In the final, Germany narrowly beat Argentina 1-0, again ending the Albiceleste's title ambitions. Bad luck continued, with Argentina losing the 2015 and 2016 Copa America finals to Chile. The Albiceleste qualified for the 2018 World Cup after struggling in the qualifiers, but it was clear that team chemistry was lacking. They drew 1-1 against Iceland despite Aguero's first goal, lost 3-0 to Croatia, and narrowly defeated Nigeria 2-1. Argentina were knocked out in the next round by the eventual champions France in a thrilling 4-3 match. The team had another disappointing exit in the 2019 Copa America semi-finals, losing to the host team Brazil. However, Lionel Scaloni became head coach in 2018 and led Argentina in the 2021 Copa America. Argentina got their revenge by defeating their arch-rivals Brazil in the final with a goal from Di Maria. In June 2022, Argentina win the CONMEBOL UEFA Cup of Champions, defeating Euro champions Italy 3-0, building high expectations for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Despite a surprise loss in their first group match against Saudi Arabia, they advanced to the knockout stages by beating both Mexico and Poland 2-0. Messi led the team to a 2-1 win over Australia in the round of 16, and in a heated match against the Netherlands, Argentina drew 2-2 before winning 4-3 on penalties. In the semi-finals, the Albiceleste easily win 3-0 against Croatia with 2 goals from Alvarez and 1 from Messi. The final against France was a dramatic encounter. Argentina took an early lead with goals from Messi and Di Maria, making it look like a walk in the park. However, after an inspirational halftime speech from Mbappé, the French players leveled the game with 2 goals from Mbappé in the 80th and 81st minutes. Extra time was one of the most thrilling periods in football history. Messi scored in the 108th minute, but Mbappé equalized again from the penalty spot in the 118th minute. Just before the final whistle, Randal Kolo Muani's shot was miraculously saved by Emiliano Martinez, taking the match to a penalty shootout. Mbappé scored the first penalty, and with the weight of the world on his shoulders and a record 1.5 billion people watching on television, Messi scored Argentina's first penalty. Argentina gained the advantage after Koeman and Tchouaméni missed their penalties, and finally, Gonzalo Montiel scored the tournament-winning penalty. Celebrations erupted in Buenos Aires and across the country, with Leo Messi cemented as the GOAT for many football fans. La Albiceleste has always relied on a big leader, and with Messi soon to retire, it will be interesting to see who steps up to lead the team in the coming years. Argentina is one of the favorites, with young players like Enzo Fernandez, Lautaro Martinez, and Joaquin Correa expected to continue the team's legacy and excite football fans worldwide.